What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. We got another bullshit fucking thing today. And this one is something I don't want to revisit, and I'm not going to revisit it, but I want to explain how it works. So this is not to dog anything. I'm not going to be going into deeply into branched-chain amino acids and how they work and stuff like that. I've got tons of videos out there. There's tons of information out there. But this is something that really caught my eye because there was like this study done, right? And every time there's a study, I'm like, I want to see what this thing says. And I look at it, and what's fucked up is I'm not a smart man. By no means do I think I'm fucking smarter than anyone else. I don't think I'm fucking bright. I don't think I have knowledge, or I just don't feel like I'm a smart guy. I have street smarts, which is something completely different, and I'm really good at catching bullshit. I'm really good. The lifestyle I've lived and growing up how I did, you gotta be really good at seeing bullshit for what it is and picking it apart, because there are clear signs when something is not true because there's holes in it. So when you hold something up to me that's fucking bullshit, I can see all these fucking things straight through it. I'm like, what the fuck? What about all these holes? Like, I don't see no holes. You're fucking blind. So this one, it was actually a study found that protein synthesis rates drop to baseline about 3 hours after a meal. Groundbreaking. This is what I said 2 years ago. Well, I'm living longer with my video about the amino acid pool. Now, if you type in BioS3 training amino acid pool, it will pop up. The amino acid pool, and this pisses me off too. So if you talk to these scientific people, they'll say, well, we have a long-term storage in the muscle and the liver for glycogen, right? We have a long-term storage in our fat cells, in our body fat cells for fat. We have no long-term storage for fucking protein or amino acids. I feel like punching these people in the fucking face like the Hulk over and over again, because I'm like, are you that fucking stupid? You can't be that stupid. Like, you can't like, because you don't have a system that works like the other two systems doesn't mean you don't have a system that works the same way. Like, Jerry, what the fuck are you talking about? Listen, we don't have a long-term storage place in our bodies for amino acids. However, what the fuck do you think this is? That muscle right here on my fucking arm is made up of amino acids. That can be broken down at any time if I'm deficient in amino acids and used for energy, be reused to build muscle for fucking recovery. You have muscle on your body made of these fucking amino acids. And if you needed amino acids, it's not like if you were short fucking 1,000 amino acids, your body would fucking die. You wouldn't even notice it on your body. Your body can tap into that muscle tissue and get those amino acids. So therefore, although it's not like this long-term storage thing, we have, like, because technically our amino acids are functional. They're actually functional. Body fat's sitting in this fucking fat cell. Carbohydrates are sitting in the glycogen and glycogen, excuse me, is sitting in the muscle cell. They're sitting there. Protein is actually working and moving. Amino acids, sorry. So because the amino acids are moving, we don't have a long-term storage. That's bullshit. We do. Whether you want to fucking call it that or not, don't be fucking stupid. We have amino acids on our body that if it's needed, and we didn't take another amino acid for the whole fucking day, our body has amino acids that it can fucking find and use. And it may just keep recycling shit and you never progress, but the bottom line is it's there so we don't die. That's why we have storage for carbohydrate, for glycogen. That's why we have storage for fats. Why we have muscle. It's there so that we don't fucking die. It has nothing to do with any other, this other shit. Now, that being said, we do have a short-term storage called the amino acid pool. Now, amino acid pool is when you take in protein, it breaks it down to amino acids, it winds up in your bloodstream, it's used for repair, for muscle building, it's protein synthesis, all these types of things, and maybe even used for energy. And what's left after that is done being, those amino acids done being used, winds up in the amino acid pool, which is like a short-term, like waiting pool, like a little area. I don't know what the fuck, I mean, I'm trying to picture what it looks like on my body. This little fucking area where amino acids go in, and they kind of stored there, but within 3 hours, because your body's constantly pulling these amino acids, within 3 hours, if you haven't had a meal, that amino acid pool is pretty much empty in a human being. Now that's what they're saying right here. 3 hours after a meal, their bodies was deficient in amino acids. Holy fuck. That's how that works. So think about it like this. If you're building muscle and you go 6 hours without eating, you are now in a catabolic state. If you want to build muscle, you need to be in more in an anabolic state, not catabolic. So you need more anabolism than catabolism in the day to get bigger muscles. But people don't understand that. They're just like, fucking, no, I mean, 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting. That's why it's so hard to fucking gain muscle. So in intermittent fasting, but you can get lean, right? So this individual, we're talking about the studies here, said that, however, taking leucine after a meal helps maintain high protein synthesis. So what they're talking about is you eat a meal, they tested the blood, the amino acids were there, the amino acids went away, they took leucine, all of a sudden that triggered protein synthesis again, because protein synthesis was going down. It was ceasing to exist at this point because they were running out of amino acids. So when you hit the leucine, it's the mTOR pathway, which actually reactivates muscle protein synthesis. But here's what they're not talking about. Without the other amino acids, which are the essential amino acids, not just leucine, while that thing's working, there's nothing to pull. It's like having a garbage disposal running and having nothing to fucking throw in it. There's nothing there to build. There's no building blocks. So then it says, well, it actually works better. Oh, the study actually said that you can actually, this is fucked up. It says, when a muscle cell is running low on energy, it will reduce protein signaling in order to conserve energy. Leucine can supply cellular energy, which helps maintain protein synthesis rates. Eating a meal or protein shake would have the same effect. However, leucine may be more convenient for some. It would also keep down the calories during a diet. Eating a meal or taking a shake would do the same thing. No, it wouldn't. Okay? It would trigger protein synthesis. That's what it would do, but it's not going to do the same thing. Because if you take leucine by itself, it's not going to build muscle. It literally would be the fucking garbage disposal spinning with nothing to put in it. If you had a shake, it would turn the garbage disposal on and you would have shit to throw in it. If you had a meal, it would turn the garbage disposal on and you've got shit to throw in it. So if you had a shake or a meal, you now have the building blocks for muscle protein synthesis. With just straight leucine, you do not. So therefore, if your amino acid pool doesn't have those amino acids in it, and your muscle protein synthesis is fucking tapped out and you take leucine, there's nothing that will happen. Now, you may not lose muscle, okay? That's a good thing. If you took leucine and it stopped muscle protein breakdown and increased muscle protein synthesis, now you're at a point where you're not losing muscle, you're not catabolic, but you're also not anabolic. Or technically you're anabolic, but you don't have the building materials for that to actually do anything. So it's like having a car with no gas in it. Like you have the fucking car sitting there, but without the gas, you're not fucking going anywhere. So now I'm looking at these fucking things going, first of all, this is like groundbreaking shit because it just came out. No, it didn't. This has been fucking talked about for like 10 years. People knew this. That's how branched chain amino acids even hit the market. It's because they found that if you took the branched chain amino acids, it increased muscle protein synthesis. But they never, ever, ever said it increases muscle building. Two different things. Muscle protein synthesis does not mean muscle building. Muscle building means creation of new muscle tissue or hypertrophy of new muscle tissue. So therefore, you need the building blocks to create that. It's like having clay to make the fucking sculpture. The other way, if you don't have those building blocks, you can't create the structure. So I sat back and I'm just going like, so many people out here right now, and listen, we've tried this shit. Leucine, we had Leukic by, I believe MuscleTech made it, didn't do shit. We had HMB, which is a metabolite of leucine, which is supposed to do the same shit, didn't do shit, because all of these things require those other amino acids to fucking work. It may stop muscle protein breakdown. So my feeling, honestly, with this is, if you're in a diet, you're in a caloric deficit, you got a show coming up or something like that, and you just, you're restricting your calories and you're trying to stop muscle loss, that's where to apply the leucine. And I'm not talking about the branched chain amino acids, I'm talking about the leucine. Because if you're on a diet trying to get ready for a show, you don't want those other two, valine and isoleucine, to convert to glucose. You don't want an alternate energy source. You just want the leucine to trigger the muscle protein synthesis. So therefore, if you supplemented with leucine in between meals on a diet, I feel like that would be a good way to stop muscle protein breakdown, stop catabolism, and maintain your muscle mass rather than breaking it down. Now, whether or not that pans out, I don't fucking know. But to me, logically, that makes sense to apply it that way. As far as building muscle, you can take all the leucine you want. Without those essential amino acids, it's not going to fucking happen. So, although it is true, the study's true, what the doctor said and the scientist said is true, it's only a small piece of what fucking really goes on. Without the other pieces or without the other numbers of that combination. So let's say there's 3-number combination. Leucine's 1. I should do this. Leucine's 1. We still got 2 left. Without those 2 numbers to open up the lock doesn't open. It's that fucking simple. Now, the next thing, and again, these are doctors and scientists that don't care about bodybuilding. They don't, and what's fucked up is as much as they know about these studies and what leucine does, they actually don't really know jack shit about building muscle. They know what studies will have told them, but half of them have never applied it. So they don't really know. They know what the studies are, and the studies are very limited as to what we know about muscle building process in individuals. That's just a fucking fact. The fact that bros can go out there and know nothing and get the same results, if not better, than the people in the scientific community means that you don't really need to know what the fuck is going on. All you need to know is the basics. So you don't need to seep yourself in all this fucking science and all this knowledge when you literally go out there and fucking just eat a goddamn cheeseburger and go train and get the same fucking results. Except you don't have to fucking go, the bros don't have to go by this fucking box they're in. they can create new things, and they're finding new ways to gain muscle, new techniques to train, new diet techniques that science will never look for, because science looks for what's already there. Science doesn't create new things. They look for what's already going on. They go, oh, this is a phenomenon that's happening. Let me fucking... Inventors create shit. Not scientists that are sitting there trying to figure out why the fuck protein synthesis goes down after 3 hours. How the fuck do we bring it back up? They're dealing with what's already there. Well, guess what? There was a point where they didn't know that shit fucking worked. But there was somebody out there going, let me take, I don't know, this amino acid. Nothing happened. Let me take this amino acid. They took leucine. Guess what? I didn't lose muscle as fast. Fuck. The doctors get wind of that. Let's do a fucking study on it. Why didn't this person? Well, I don't know where the fuck it came from. Think about it like this. Why would they all of a sudden pick leucine out of the fucking blue? Like, out of the billions of things to do out there, curing cancer and fucking all this shit, we need a fucking study on leucine to figure out how to fucking stop, to create muscle protein synthesis without food. What? Unless you're solving world hunger, trying to get people not to starve. Like, why don't you take all that leucine, fly it over to fucking Somalia, or fucking, where's the, those kids with the really swollen bellies? Was it Somalia or Ethiopia? Go out to Ethiopia and give them all fucking leucine, right? That would stop wasting, right? That's what you're saying. If you take leucine, it makes muscle protein synthesis happen. Go give all the leucine to the kids in fucking Ethiopia. Let's see how they make out. That would be a study that would fucking make sense. But no, we're like, oh, we put it in a fucking petri dish over here, stirred it up a little bit, and it turned orange. Therefore, 3 hours later, I'm like, fuck. But anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. So be aware, guys. You're going to get some information here and there, and, you know, most of it's good information, but it's just unfinished information. That unfinished part is where I live. That unfinished part is where my life is and always has been. Because when I was coming up, I didn't have access to the information, even access to the studies and stuff like that. So we had to figure it out. We had to ask people. We had to try things. We had to fail. And then we succeeded eventually by failing over and over again. Whereas nowadays, it seems like they have an idea already. They go, oh, see, this is exactly what we thought. So what the fuck did you learn by it? You didn't learn anything. You just proved what you thought. The reason that you thought it was there was information already saying that that was pretty much going to fucking work. And then you take $4 million, do the study, and say it worked. You already knew it was going to work. You already knew exactly what the fuck it did. We know that fucking leucine turns on the mTOR pathway. Therefore, we know exactly what the fuck it does. Why the fuck do we need a study that costs millions of dollars to tell us what we already knew it fucking did? If you knew the basic biology of it and fucking biochemistry, then you already knew that it did that. Why are we still doing fucking studies? Makes no fucking sense. Anyways, BioStrength@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioStrength.com is the blog. It's a stop doing these stupid study biceps, and we are